Alrighty, fellas. Good morning. Good morning. I think we should get started into making some progress, fellas. What do you fellas think? What's up? What's up? How are we doing today? Happy Monday. How are we feeling? How are we gaming? How's the progress? First things first, I have some Ditto boxes that I want to sell today at some point for sure. That'll be some really nice Pokeyen. And then I do also have some relistings to do. I was kind of looking for this, honestly looking forward to. Well, first things first. Okay, we got so many first things first. Let's collect this Pokeyen. I've been doing my 0 to 20 mil challenge, guys. It's day 21 as of recording. And I'm currently at around 14 million Pokeyen. This will definitely put me at 14 million. 14.4. Wow. I might reach 15 mil today then, guys. That's honestly much more than I expected. We'll collect another stack. Beautiful. Up to 14.5. Not too much from these pages. Understandable. Just small sales. Almost 14.6 million Pokemon. I do have some Everstones and more fossils to sell as well. I've only been allowing myself to play 4 to 6 hours a day. This is truly, I think, like, it's above average. It's not the average player, but you know, if you wanted to push forward, if you were a returning player who wanted to prepare for event season, that's what this challenge was all about. It's to show you that you can do it. It requires a lot of patience, a lot of time and effort, consistently every single day. 4 to 6 hours or so every single day, but you can do it. I went from 0 Pokeyen all the way up to 14.5 mil so far, and I do have some things that haven't sold, and I've just learned a lot. I've learned a lot throughout this challenge. I'll be doing a video actually explaining and going over all the things that, in my opinion, I've learned throughout this challenge at the end of it. Thank you for the sub, Proper Pikachu. I really appreciate that. We're going to put these utility Pokemon in here, and we're gonna list off some of these bad boys. We're gonna sell off some of these Pokemon that I had trouble selling. So let's go see what this Lucario should go for. Lucario was really flippable at a certain point because it just got unbanned in the UU tier, and it was really, really hype because of that. This guy EV trained. He's EV trained and XP trained, but doesn't have egg moves. I don't know what I probably bought this for like 3 to something K. I am going to start quick selling stuff. So this might hurt some of you guys to watch. It might excite you because you can make some flips off of me. I'm going to sell this Lucario for 45K. It was previously listed for 100 for reference. We're then going to go back here. These Meowths, these are all the same. Now, Meowths got super undercut because I showed off the money-making method, which, you know, it happens. And it's good. It's good that I have to experience what you guys experience sometimes, which is if I make a money-making method video of a money-making method you enjoy, it hurts it temporarily. And I understand that. I think it's good to spread information, and I care more about spreading information than keeping things private so that a certain selection of people can make the most amount of money possible. Man, look at this one. 215K. I might just sell. Once again, I bought these Meowths. How much money did I put into these? I put a lot of time into them, but I bought them for around 100K a piece. I'm quick selling, guys. I'm going to try to quick sell these for 200K a piece. I need stuff to sell. If you want to flip, the one insta sold. If you want to flip me, that's fine. If you want to, look at these. They're insta selling now. I still made 100K profit on each of them. I'm okay with that. That's 300K that goes back into my Pokeyen stack, putting me over 15 mil already. And this is what I was looking for. If people want to flip these, that's totally fine. There are times where you list something and you know you're going to get flipped, and that's okay. That you're okay with quick selling because you value getting that Pokeyen as soon as possible. I don't normally recommend that. I don't normally recommend it, but it makes sense in this circumstance where I'm at a time crunch. Next up, I've been doing some fossil farming off stream. I have a bunch of Everstones, 17 Everstones to go sell. So we're going to list off all my fossils and Everstones and go sell my hardstones. And we are making some Pokeyen today, fellas. I would love to finish the challenge early so I could do some fun things like Litwick shiny hunts or Bayonet or Duskull or Ghastly. Some sort of Halloween shiny hunt would be a lot of fun. And also, I mean, I'm 46,000 encounters dry. I'd love to break the shiny streak before Halloween, or maybe during the event season. I don't know. We'll see. The market before the event is a little depressing. You have to change your money-making methods dependent on the market. And that's something that I learned a ton during this challenge, right? It is difficult to do Pokemon money-making methods before the event. Breeding for profit, it's too slow. Things sell too slowly. What's better is things like items, things like Pokeyen. I've been able to make, once again, 15 million Pokeyen in 21 days. Now, that requires a lot of time and effort and game knowledge. It's not something that everybody can do that easily, but it's something that's possible. And I want you guys to hopefully be inspired and hopefully know that you can go do something if you put in, learn it. And anybody can do this. It just takes, it's not easy, but anybody can do it. It takes time and effort, and I believe in you guys. So go make some Pokeyen. prep for the Halloween event. Even if you have a couple mil, it's just nice to have access to the ability to buy whatever metamons are going to be good for the pumpkin boss, as well as invest in the event, to invest in your PokeMMO future. I'm planning to buy a dinner status. When will be a good day to pop it? It's up to you. Because they could drop October. I would do it October 30th, most likely. It's very possible the event drops at 8 p.m. ET on October 30th, because that is midnight UTC, October 31st. If you want to be really risky, you could just wait until the screen starts shaking. And what I mean by that, if you've never seen an update in PokeMMO, 5 minutes before the servers shut down for the update, you start seeing your screen shake. Like it'll be like an earthquake. You'll see global chat spam. It's really fun, honestly, to be online during an update like that. You could technically wait until the screen shakes and then pop your donor status if you really want to be risky, but you have to make sure you're online during that time. So that's kind of risky. I'd pop on October 30th, but even then it's a little risky because it's possible the devs are late or they don't do it. Like holiday events is never guaranteed. It's just probable based on history. This is pretty wild. This guy also, apparently he got this snipe, which is also crazy. Let's go ahead and watch. This was I'll pause it when it pops up. Shiny Hitmonlee for 3 mil. Can you guys see that? Just barely. Shiny Hitmonlee listed for 3 mil in the GTL, and he buys it in this time frame. Look at this. This is not a fast snipe. Like the way he like drags over. But he says no. Did he not? I don't understand. Did he actually get it? Someone was saying he got it. But it doesn't look like it here, but yeah, apparently he's not. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. That was a shiny Hitmonlee for 3 mil. That's wild, dude. Is shiny Hitmonlee expensive? He hits enter on yes. Gotcha. It looks like he clicks gotcha. That makes sense. Hovers over no with mouse, hits. There you go. That makes sense. That's what I thought. I'm not, I don't speak Spanish, but I could understand that C equals yes. So he did snipe it apparently. Yeah, shiny Hitmonlee is really expensive. I mean, it's one of the rarest edge shinies in the game because it's similar to Lucario / Riolu, where you have to breed it down each time or whatever, right? So every time you breed it, it's a really expensive, really difficult to get shot. A 3 mil snipe on that is wild. It's also a very rare encounter in the wild, being like a 1% encounter rate. So that means that guy probably got the 1% shiny encounter and then just sold it without knowing. Wild stuff. Absolutely wild. That's like probably like a 60 to 80 mil snipe would be my guess. That's pretty insane. Congrats to that guy. Did it on stream as well. That's like a once in a lifetime snipe. That is very cool. All right, I'm getting too distracted. I have to get into making my own Pokeyen today, fellas. To-do list. Okay, relist Pokemon was number 1. We went ahead and took care of that, I believe. Is anything else ended? You never want to cancel listings early, even if these, like, I'll maybe towards the end of the challenge, I'll work on that, but I relisted those Pokemon that should be taken care of. Next up, I want to attempt some catching Torkoal for profit, but let's first see if it's actually good right now. Sometimes catching Torkoal for profit is very good. And the reason why is because people need drought Torkoals. These can be like 6 to 7k a piece, sometimes 5.5. This isn't amazing, but it's not bad. We're going to try this. I don't know. Like I've made over 300k in the past at times catching Torkoal for profit. It can be ridiculous Pokeyen at times. I don't know if this is one of those times. We're going to go test it out. You always want to test stuff. The Pokemon market is very, it changes all the time. It just changes all the time. So we're going to go see what we're looking at. I also have a level 100 Smeargle here to sell, as well as another Smeargle that's almost level 100. So let's go ahead and sell off this. I almost forgot about this. This other level 100 Smeargle. Let's see what's the cheapest level 100 Smeargle. Doesn't really have anything special. I mean, it has decent-ish stats, but let's just go ahead and sell this off for 95k. I think I bought this for 20k, I believe, EV trained. I should have just bought the cheapest one at like 2k or whatever. So we'll get that one listed off and hopefully have 100k more Pokeyen coming my way. Let's go ahead and pick up all of our catching Pokemon and a damp Pokemon, everything we need for catching Torkoals. Oh, dude, this is so sick. So this is not my shiny. This is a wild Joshuwot Shiny. I mean, this is really cool to see. For those who don't know, Joshuwot is probably my oldest friend in PokeMMO. Like, she largely helped me get into the game back in 2013, taught me everything about EV training, taught me everything about the locations, taught me about the lay of the land in PokeMMO. She was just a massive help, and I wouldn't have learned as much as I did back in 2013 without her. We co-led a team together, her largely doing a lot of the work. Back in 2014, 8-Bit Heroes, we were in a lot of the same teams together, and she's just one of my longest friends in PokeMMO. So to see her get a shiny like this is always amazing. Congratulations, Joshuwot. Super cool to see. Amazing shiny. Flappy, Mareep. You know, Ampharos, all that whole line is just also the green pearl. I don't see Flaffy a whole lot. I see Ampharos and Mareep. This is super cool. Now to farm Torkoals, I'm literally watching my own guide because it's been so long that I don't remember how to do this, which is like, you know, it's kind of ironic, but it's also funny. Like, you know, it's easy to play Pokemon for so many hours where you don't remember everything off the top of your head. So this is why I always ask you guys to Google guides so much. If you ask me a question on stream, just Google it first to see if I have a guide, and then you can ask me after. It's always appreciated. I need to change my bike, for example, which I wouldn't have remembered, over to the Acro bike, I believe. Yep, so now we can actually bounce. Let's go ahead and double check. Yep, now we can bouncy. Thank you, Oso, for the sub. We're going to head over to Lava Ridge Town. We're going to head over to, I think it's, let's watch my own video and see where I actually go. Yep, you do go up here. Perfect. Watching my own video for a guide. You want to head up here. You want to bounce up these rocks. Now I'm starting to remember a bit. You want to head up to this cave. And you want to look for Torkoal encounters. Not just any Torkoal encounter. You want to specifically look for drought Torkoal encounters. So you want to run back and forth until you encounter drought Torkoals, and you'll know when you encounter a drought Torkoal because it will like show like, oh, sun has been set. It'll show you like the weather being set, right? So you can actually just tell when you encounter a Torkoal. You don't want these Torkoal hordes. This is going to be too much to handle for a catch for making profit, so we're just going to run away from this. But it is a good time to show you. See how it says drought? That means one of these Torkoals has drought. Now, am I going to kill all of them to try to randomly catch one to see which one? No, not worth my time. But I'm going to run back and forth. Every single drought Torkoal is worth a minimum of 5,500 Pokeyen. So I'm going to go ahead and set a timer, and we're going to see how many of these I can catch in 1 hour and how much Pokeyen I can make. This one's white smoke. It's not drought because there was no notification, so I'm just going to run from it. We're going to bring my timer up. I'm going to go ahead and get started. 3, 2, 1. Let's see how it goes, fellas. Hey, Pat, are you going to resume egg hunting after the 20 mil challenge, or are you going to focus on definitely the Halloween event? I have no plans to return to egg hunting, even though I'm this dry. It was really just for shiny wars and to go for points and such. I have no interest in egg hunting for the foreseeable future. I'll be mostly focused on Time Swipe hordes and Pokeyen making during the event, and focus on event content for sure. At what point do you think money-making methods aren't worth for anything? For me, anything below 200k an hour isn't. This is a great question. Isn't worth it. Great question. This really comes down to your own like values. How much do you value like fun versus efficiency? And this answer to this question will be different for everybody. For you, you know, if you're deciding that if I'm making less than 200k an hour, isn't really worth it. That's super fair. For me, like, it depends on the fun of the method. It really just depends. There's not really one question. I think 200k is a pretty good answer. I would say a really good floor for everybody is I wouldn't recommend doing a money making method that makes less than like 100k, like 120k an hour, because that's about payday pickup. That's like payday pickup is kind of the floor of money making in PokeMMO. If you're doing a method that makes less than 100 to 120k an hour, I think that's not really worth it. But obviously, once again, that's a question for you to answer. It depends on what you value in the game. Honestly, a super underrated point to talk about, Lixum. I got my first shiny at a really low rate, so now it feels like it's taken forever. Getting a shiny at an extremely low encounter rate or a high encounter rate is a gift and a curse, right? It's both. Obviously, when you get a shiny at a low rate, awesome, super lucky, hell yeah, that's the gift, right? The curse is everything after is going to feel so much harder. And you're probably, on average, you know, going to go dry at some point, right? The gift and the curse of getting super dry on your first shunt is that obviously the curse is going dry on your first shunt. But the gift is that if you go dry on your first shunt, like 100k dry, 60k dry, whatever, every other shunt after is going to feel so much easier. Your driest shunt will almost always, like, it's almost like every single time you shiny hunt, you set a new bar, right? The more time and like encounters you go dry, etc., you keep shiny hunting is all about perseverance and raising that bar of how long you can go before giving up. Shiny hunting is all about, as long as you don't give up, you win. As long as you literally cannot lose at shiny hunting as long as you don't give up. The only way you lose at shiny hunting is if you give up. It's very, very simple. But a lot of people give up. Which makes sense. It's fair, right? It's a very, very good mental tester. Now, this is a tough question that once again comes down to personal preference, Morgan. I'm thinking about trying to get into shiny hunting, but how long do you stay at the same spot before moving locations? This is super dependent on your goals and your preferences. I hop around locations constantly. It's what I really, really enjoy. I don't mind, as long as I'm hunting at a spot where I want a shiny there, I will hop around locations endlessly. Changing locations, changing that environment drastically resets the mental. I could shiny hunt for 16 hours a day as long as I change locations. If I didn't change locations, I would burn out way faster. I would enjoy it way less. I would have way less fun. But for some people, changing locations and like working on imagine like you work on one species, right? For like 10,000 encounters. A lot of people wouldn't want to switch up to a different species after that much. They want to stick to it until they get it, right? I'm not like that personally. It's really up to how much do you value that? How much do you value that mental change? I think a lot more people should try changing up locations. I think changing up locations really does make things a lot more fun, at least for me personally. All right, the cuckoo is going to happen. Cuckoo. The timer is up. I'm going to quickly catch this last turtle. Since it's already false swipe, already spored, you know, it's ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and finish that. This was not a good hour. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I don't think right now is the time to be catching drought turtles for profit. This was not good. But it's probably not, I mean, hopefully not terrible. We'll have to see. I'm going to dig out of here. We're going to teleport back. We're going to go, I don't want my teleport ocarina. Let me fix that really quick. But, so we're going to teleport back to a PC. We're going to go see. So each of these Torkoals should be around 6K. Is this super easy? Honestly, wow. I did catch way more than I expected. And I got 2 Charcoals, which are worth some amount of Pokeyen. Let's bring up my Windows calculator. I honestly caught more Torkoals than I expected. So let's do the Charcoal thing. I feel like I got really bad on my Drought Torkoal luck. I feel like my luck was not good. Let's check Charcoals. First things first. They're around 31,999. We got 2 of those. We're going to sell off 2 of these for 3,198. It's going to end up being 6K profit there. So we're going to start off with 6K profit after the listing fee, right? List those off. And next up is our Torkoals. These should go for, I think it's around 6,500 a piece when I last checked. What I would do for this is I would do, you want to scroll down to has ability. It's so nice they added this option. You used to have to like scroll. It was a pain in the butt. You want to do Torkoal. People are now doing this method because I'm showing it off on stream, so they're undercutting a fair bit. I'm going to look for, look at all these. All of these listings have been up for less than 30 minutes. Most of these. This one's been up for like, you know, we see 11 hours, 17 hours, but like none for 24 hours. Usually that means you can sell it for a bit more. So like I would call this the actual accurate price, and we'll see. So I think you could absolutely sell these for 6,500 a piece. I might go ahead and list mine for 5,999 just to like hopefully have them sell quicker. Once again, speed's important. So it's gonna be about 5K profit per Torkoal. I caught 10, 16. So we would do 16 times 5K. I also caught no good IV ones. Yeah, the profit this hour was not that good. I probably made about 86K Pokeyen an hour. This is a method that historically I've made 200K, 300K plus per hour. You can make really good Pokeyen per hour here at times. This was just not one of those times, and that's okay. I think this method also is very, very RNG dependent. So not a great money making method, but we tested it. That's what we're all about, testing stuff and seeing what's good. It depends on certain markets, etc., etc. For those who don't know, you need these Torkoal, low-level Torkoals with Drought for, they're just used for Jimmy runs. You want any random Torkoal, hopefully low-level, hopefully low defenses. So you can go ahead and use them for Jimmy runs and just set up your Drought for your double Typhlosion. So there we go. 86K an hour, not great, but glad we tested it. My chat actually just exploded my brain. Apparently most people in my chat and probably in the Pokemon community actually use arrow keys for your movement. You guys didn't change that shit to WASD? That actually, my brain exploded. I think most people in my chat use arrow keys. That's some psycho shit. More power to you. That I respect it, but God, that's actually crazy. We're still playing games like we're playing like pinball on like Windows XP. That's wild. I insta changed mine to WASD. Yeah. Oh man. Maybe I'm too zoomer. That's crazy. Anyways, okay. Let's actually go work on making Pokeyen. Okay, back to what matters. First things first, I'm willing to sell Ditto boxes if anyone wants to buy Ditto boxes. I'd probably go for like 210K Pokeyen per box. Other than that, I still have a bunch of 1x31s like Geodudes and Machops to sell here from the catch event this weekend. But the problem is, I feel like the catch event tanked the prices on a lot of these mons. We can actually see how many. Maybe I should just try to sell these. They were really low. Like after the event, prices on these guys were insane. Let's see what like this Geodude would sell for right now. Let's see. 31 special defense. We'll do 20 plus in these other stats. That is kind of relevant. We're missing. Nah, no, not. Never mind. We're missing. We'll do 25 plus here, I guess. We're missing defense. We'll do mineral, egg group, and then it is female. This is 3K. Honestly, it's getting better. That's kind of crazy that this is getting better. Like, this is a higher. That's actually wild. Like, oh yeah, wow, 3K. That's better than what it was. That's crazy. Humanoid egg group, 31 attack. Let's check this. Dude, there were so many people that did that event. 5K, honestly not bad. We'll list that off. So we're making some Pokeyen from selling this stuff. Let me go ahead and go collect. I have a 31 speed as well. We'll sell that later. I have some Pokeyen to collect. A 65K Alpha Lickitung sold, a Charcoal, a Torkoal, and an Abra. Put it up to 15.2 million. I still have my trainer rerun today and my gym rerun, which will take me 2 hours, but will earn me like 500K Pokeyen guaranteed. So that's nice. We did the Torkoal. We can knock that off our let me run my notepad doc really quick. We caught Torkoals. We tested that. Wasn't very good. Good to test. We have Jimmy Run and Trainer Run left. Let's go start our Trainer Run. I've really been enjoying learning the Trainer Run strat and actually like getting pretty efficient with it. And I have building my own route. So I personally do Cynthia and Morimoto first and then go do all the other trainers after. Yeah, controller players in Pokemon are pretty giga chad. I've seen a lot of people rep controllers. Controller play for Pokemon seems really comfy and really awesome, honestly. But from that, we're going to move on to our Jimmy Run. I usually do my Morimoto fight first, so we're going to jump into this. There's a little bit of skill when it comes to the Morimoto fight, but you can actually kind of cheese it with things like... Dude, honestly, like, I used to win this fight, like, 50% of the time. It's tough. But now, ever since I started using Zapdos, I beat this fight, like, 100%. I don't think I've lost to it with Zapdos. Like, that's how strong Zapdos has been. Cloyster, Zapdos, and Garchomp, I think might beat this whole fight now. It's that good. It's that insane. I'm going to set up Tailwind. That's going to allow me to switch over to my Choice Band Cloyster and just spam Icicle Spear. I should be able to do enough damage to this Tauros to one-shot it, especially through any sort of Focus Sash and like that. They're going to bring in Vaporeon. Now, Vaporeon will scald my Cloyster, possibly burning it, ending it for special attack. You want to switch out here over to, even if they Ice Beam or whatever, you want to switch over to Zapdos. If Zapdos gets burned, it doesn't matter. It's a special attacker. Yep. We tanked the Scald. Zapdos is just so tanky. It's kind of ridiculous. Now I can throw off a Discharge and OKO the Vaporeon. Now, from this position, I can, switch around, do whatever. You do have to actually, like, you have to play a little bit smart against Morimoto. Dugtrio comes in. This is a good example. So Dugtrio comes in. I obviously can't do anything to this. He's obviously going to go for some sort of EQ. I probably head over to something like, I think Garchomp, or my Garchomp and my Crocodile are... I might even just go Cloyster here, because I don't think it can hit me for enough. But if my Tailwind runs out, no, I'm just gonna go Garchomp. Garchomp can tank whatever this guy throws at me. I want my Cloyster. Cloyster hits through its Focus Sash. This thing is gonna be Focus Sashed. He's gonna Stone Edge, do 10%. Once again, Garchomp just so tanky. I'm gonna go for an EQ here. It's gonna hit it down to its Focus Sash. He'll be able to get an attack off on me, but yeah, 30% with EQ. Yep, it's really these three Pokemon. I really do feel like Cloyster, Zapdos, Garchomp might take care of this entire fight. A Tailwind at the beginning is nice from like a random, whatever. It's not, you don't need it in my opinion. Here I would head over to probably, ooh, this is a tough one. This Swoobat is tough. This Swoobat, I might just go, I think Zapdos gets 2-shot. This Swoobat I'm pretty sure is Choice Scarfed. It is so fast. Also the team that, what's it called, that Morimoto uses at random each time. I'm gonna head over to Crocodile in case of like he probably Ice Beams here and might kill me. That's totally okay. Yeah, I was saying he might Psychic. Yeah, he might Psychic, which we have an immunity to, so we can go into that and dodge it. Now I am Scarf on my Crocodile as well, so now I can go for a Crunch and this should KO. It puts it at Focus Sash, 1 HP. A lot of sashes, which is why Cloyster is so good against this guy, but it's also why this fight can be so tough. It goes for a Giga Drain, hitting me for 64. I'll be able to return with a Crunch with a crit as well. I'll be able to return with a Crunch, kill it, and get a Moxie proc, which I can hopefully carry into the next attack. But even if I just chip the next person, I should be fine. This battle should be pretty much 100% won from this point forward. But it's good to show you guys like the strategy. There's some strategy involved. It's not the hardest fight in the world, but it's not easy. You do have to think a little bit, right? So we're gonna Crunch, get that chip damage, take the KO from CC. That is totally okay. And then I think we just switch in our I think Zapdos outspeeds. I think Zapdos outspeeds from this point. Modest 2 special attack, 2 speed. We just throw up Discharge. He outspeeds me, but Zapdos is so tanky, we only see 23%. So he probably is Scarf. be my guess. And then the last Pokemon we should be able to... I'm trying to think what the last Pokemon might be. Is it Lapras? Simisear. So this should be GG's. Worst case scenario, if he were to outspeed me and kill my Zapdos, I would go over to my Garchomp. I would then Scarf EQ and kill it for sure. So there you go. An easy guide to a Morimoto fight. This is a great question because the week 2 catch event for Staryu is a fishing event. So it's a really, really important one to call out. Someone said, do you think it's better to have a synchronized Pokemon or a suction cup Pokemon? I think for fishing events like that, I think suction cup is better. Whatever increases your encounters per hour and whatever increases like the amount of dice rolls you're able to have, the amount of Pokemon you're able to catch, I feel like that is almost always better from my experience versus trying to go for that like species bonus. I think synchronize is a little too... I think it's too slow, and it gives you that chance for the higher roll, but it slows down your progress so much. If you lead Synchronize, you have to switch against every single Pokemon that you want to catch from Synchronize over to your catching Pokemon. Now, if you're synchronizing and like quick balling, more power to you. That's a fair strat for certain events that cost a lot of Pokeyen, but you definitely can do that. But if you're switching from your Synchronized lead to your catching Pokemon every single time, you only really want to do that for like catch events where there was a Togepi only catching event, for example, where Togepi was the only Pokemon you could catch for the event, and Togepi was like a 5% chance encounter. So you would only get like 8 catches throughout the entire event, the whole hour, right? That sort of thing. And for that, Synchronize is great. So it depends on what event do you want to use Synchronize versus Illuminate, Arena Trap, Suction Cups, etc. Dude, I have not heard about this strat, Kev. This is so cool. Have you tried the new Illuminate Lantern Ditto hunting strategy? It's the same as the Fortress strategy, but instead of Fortress, you lead with Lantern because of Illuminate. Yeah, you like Vault Switch. That is... wow. I don't know like the exact stats you would need for that. I'm sure it's very statistically like specific. I've not heard about that. It is wild to me that the Ditto strategy has changed like 4 times of what's like the most efficient Ditto strat over the past year to year and a half. Really goes to show how undiscovered this game is and how much there is to like innovate. That's crazy. That's a cool thing to hear. Other than PokeMMO, what game do you have the most hours in? A lot of people might see that I have 8,600 hours in PokeMMO and think that that's the most hours I have in a game. It is actually not. I actually have way more hours in old school RuneScape. I put around 20,000 hours in old school RuneScape in around 4.5 years. I played for about 9.5 hours every single day on average. I streamed it and I tried doing content on it. I was decently successful with streaming it, not at all with YouTube. The YouTube RuneScape scene is so crazy. Fellow Osarest nerd, yeah, RuneScape is my favorite game of all time, but Pokemon's number 2. Pokemon's number 2. It's a great game. I think after that, I don't know what my third most hours in a game. I think it falls off measurably. It would probably be... it might be Skyrim. I probably have a few, like over 2,000 in Skyrim, would be my guess. But across so many different platforms like Xbox, multiple different PCs, on Steam, not on Steam. I played a lot of different ways of Skyrim, so I have a lot in Skyrim. Other than that, I don't know. I have like 800 hours in TF2, or like 300 in Minecraft. Actually, Minecraft is up there for me for most hours. Minecraft is probably in that 1 to 2,000 range. This is a great question. It comes from a Pokeforce dev. Has PokeMMO ever added any new Pokemon from a more recent generation without releasing that region they're associated with? Absolutely. That's what Altering Cave was used for. So Altering Cave was often used, like back when the game was only Kanto, it was only Fire Red Leaf Green, it was used for you to catch things like Stantler, Bagon Bagon and Beldum for a long time were only achievable via a rotating spawned cave called Altering Cave. It's one of the most interesting things about Pokemon history, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely. There have been so many times where the Pokemon devs have released new Pokemon from new generations, but the region itself hasn't been out yet, right? I'm trying to think of all the examples. Like Generation 2 and 3 Pokemon were released far before those regions. Obviously, we didn't get Johto until 2023, right? So, yeah. There's tons of examples like that. Really, really, really good question. So yeah, I've been saying for a while, I think that there's absolutely a chance that we see Gen 6 Pokemon releases before we see that region, and that region probably won't happen for, you know, at least 3 years. We were so far from Kalos, it's not really worth warranting a discussion, in my opinion. What's more interesting is possible Pokemon choices they could add or how they could release them, etc., etc. Wait, what just happened? Wait, huh? Did you guys see that? Wait, what is this bug? Oh, did it just fix? Wait, that was weird. I had a bug where... How did my opponent have a Garchomp? There's no Garchomp on his team. I've never seen that. That was a really, really weird bug. It wouldn't let me target a Pokemon that wasn't there. I've never seen that before. That was very, very strange. Do you think that there are more MMO aspects that PokeMMO could implement that still fit their assumed designed vision of staying true to the original games? Absolutely. This is a great question. I mean, things like, once again, coming from a Pokeforce dev, and I feel like the Pokeforce devs have been so good about not only communicating, but the Pokeforce devs have probed the PokeMMO players' minds. So you guys truly, genuinely want to understand what makes a good Pokemon MMO, and I really, really appreciate that. I feel like you guys have asked me so many questions like this about what makes a good Pokemon MMO, and it just makes me so excited for the release of Pokeforce and future tests. So, but to get it out of the way, MMO functions that I think would be interesting that would fit to the trueness of traditional Pokemon. I've been saying forever at Guild Hall. We already have secret bases, right? Secret bases are a very fucking cool mechanic that could be turned into something more interesting like a Guild Hall. Some of my favorite MMO memories growing up are in Guild Halls, just like sitting around people and just like hanging out and talking. And I think some of the biggest MMO memories that most of us have are not even just playing the game, but just talking to people and knowing certain people, right? And it's very, very important. So I think a Guild Hall is a massive one. Hopefully you do also want to encourage people to go to that Guild Hall, so adding some utility and some use to it is important, as well as Guild Hall raids and dungeons. We're getting that soon. Like endgame Pokemon is the perfect game for some sort of endgame PVM challenge to exist, similar to like a raid, like an MMO, right? So I think we're gonna be getting that pretty soon, some sort of gauntlet where you have to battle, taking like the battle tower, very similar to a lot of other like MMOs where you go to like a dungeon, you fight a bunch of ads and small monsters to then get to the big boss. Battle Tower is pretty much that, right? You can take that and turn that into a lot more things. So PVM content, raid, dungeons, Battle Tower reworks, etc. Guild halls, anything else, and to be able to inspect another player and see their hours, see their badges, more abilities to flex. The ability to flex in an MMO is super important. Once again, they're extremely social games that are built upon seeing other players and what they have and what you don't have and getting motivated to go get those things. Yeah, great question. Hopefully that answered it decently enough. This is a great question. When it comes down to hunting down like super rare and expensive vanities, something like the blue flaming skull mask, would you just create a forum post that says you're in the market for purchasing such a vanity? Yes, you nailed it. If you want to look for like big purchases, really unique, interesting, parts of the market in the Pokemon economy, forum post. There, if you go to the Pokemon like trading lounge is the forum thread, you will find things like people trying to buy very expensive vanities, people trying to sell them. Yeah, that's the place to go for giant things, like things over like 2 billion, things over the max cash limit is where you would go for the forum. Great question. All right, trainer rerun is over. That was one of the worst trainer runs I've ever done. I was having so much fun just talking to chat and very distracted. So, but that's pretty normal on my stream, honestly. So let's go do our trainer rerun next. We're starting at 15.4 mil. Made some really good Pokeyen today. I should be able to end the stream with 15.7 mil super easily, right? At least. We'll see if more. That would be, I'm trying to think how much time I'll have to spend left on this challenge. We're coming down. I have like 9 or 10 days left for this challenge.
So much, Patrouski.
Yeah, what's up? I appreciate the sound whispered. I am so excited to hopefully, I should be able to, right? Beat this challenge early. If I need, let's say I end today with, it's 15.7. So that would leave me with needing 4.3 mil. So 4.3 mil Pokeyen. 4.3 mil divided by 700k a day is what I can make. I think pretty easy. I'm trying to think at least 500k a day. Let's do 500k a day is like bare minimum. Let's do 4.3 divided by 500. 500k is literally just a trainer rerun and a gym rerun. That's 8.6 days. So we're like a little ahead of schedule. Worst case scenario. Best case scenario, let's say not best, like let's say average case scenario. Let's say 4.3 divided by 700k, which is about what I make on average, playing 4 to 6 hours a day. That's only 6 days left. Okay, I'm excited, guys. I really want to try to. We're gonna hustle down. We're gonna bunker down. We're gonna try to beat this challenge early. That would be amazing. I have Ditto boxes here to sell as well. Still, that's awesome. Speaking of bunkering down and making Pokeyen, I also have another Smeargle that I can sell. I think this goes for around 100k. It's just a random Smeargle that's level 100. So the way that I would price check this is just look for Smeargle, lowest price, level 100. That's all I would do. The cheapest one is 90. It's mine at 94. So we'll do 8. We'll do 90k on this one because it's not EV trained and stuff. So we'll buy that, or we'll sell that. I will try to buy a Smeargle now at the cheapest price possible. So I'll pay, this one's at level 49 for 2k. We'll go ahead and buy that up. Then I'll go put an XP share on that. So I actually am like making around 100k extra every so often just from EV training Pokemon, just from EV training this Smeargle. Now, those will take a bit of time to sell. Maybe I end up quick selling those for like 60k, but worst case scenario, right? I'm passively making 60k Pokeyen every couple Jimmy runs. So we have our Jimmy run ready to go. I'm going to go train this Smeargle. We're going to go get ready, and I'm going to go get a piece of pizza and eat lunch, and then we'll start the good old Jimmy run. Okay, I'm warning you now. If you're hungry, you might want to look away. This is going to be the food take of the day, just my lunch. This might be the best lunch that money can buy, unironically. First things first, we have leftover deep dish pizza with ranch. Phenomenal, amazing, Detroit style, fantastic, delicious, love it. A Mountain Dew Zero, S tier, best flavor, plus no calories. So no calories drink. So therefore, this is copium, I can fit in my lemon meringue pie for dessert. It doesn't get much better than this, fellas. It does not get much better. Deep dish pizza, ranch, Mountain Dew, lemon meringue pie. I'm a happy man. Let's do our Jimmy run, fellas. This is I have a brutally honest answer to this, Tolstoy's. Have a shiny Shedinja question, hoping someone can answer it. I've been shunting Shedinja for some time now, almost approaching 4,000 Shedinjas, but don't know if there's a difference between leveling with hordes versus using candies, aside from Pokeyen. I've been doing hordes the entire time, but I don't know if I can only get Shedinja through XP candies. I feel like at this point, I would never recommend someone shunt Shedinja without XP candies. It is that much better. It turns Shedinja from like a thousands or tens of thousands of hour hunt into a like 300 to 400 hour hunt, excuse me. But it costs like a lot of Pokeyen, like hundreds of mil, right? Like I feel like Shedinja has just become an extremely expensive hunt. And if you don't have the money to hunt it, I just wouldn't hunt it. I feel like it's not, I would just go spend time making the money to then hunt it. I feel like you need, yeah, XP candying is just so much better. It's so much better. You're gonna get 20 shiny Tentacruels on average to one shiny Shedinja if you do horde leveling. It is so brutal and it's so slow. I would strongly encourage you to use XP candies. Okay, this is not a promise, but I might try to do this depending on how fast I can beat this money making challenge. But Oso just gave me the best idea in chat. I might look to do a costume contest, aka a fashion contest, on October 30th, the day before Halloween. So keep an eye out for that. I will do like a YouTube post and I'll schedule a stream for that if I plan to do it. It's going to depend on a few other factors and how I can like get ready for that in time, but that sounds really fun and really wholesome and really on theme. We could even do it like around 8 p.m.-ish. It'd be like before that, like around 8 p.m.-ish, because that's when the Halloween event would maybe come out. So we'll keep an eye. That'd be super cool. We will keep an eye out for that. Okay, I've got 10 seconds winding down on this amulet coin. I think I'm good to go ahead and just call this charm here. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and call the stream here as well, fellas. I had a fantastic Monday stream. Thanks to you guys. Thanks for being so cool. Awesome community, amazing chats, great questions. Hopefully, I was able to add something positive to your day. Hopefully, you learned something, or entertained a little bit, or had fun playing PokeMMO today. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO YouTube videos. Follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Friday, as well as Saturday and Sunday this upcoming for all these catch events coming up. Discord's down below if you're interested in that and want help during the event season. And if you want to go above and beyond, the best way that ever has existed to support the stream is with the factor link in the description, giving yourself some food as well as super generously supporting the stream. The factor link, honestly, I won't even show the other stuff. Screw all the other things. The main thing, if you want to support the stream this month, is the factor link. It means the world. If not, I hope you enjoyed the content and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace, Reno. Hey, what's up? Patrouski here, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching until the very end of the video. That means the world to me, and if your name is listed here, that means you went above and beyond and supported the channel financially, which allows me to even be here and have the time to do this. So thank you so very much.